Alright, y'all, here we go. Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be hiking Cherokee Ridge in Dadesville, Alabama at Lake Martin. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I don't really have much to talk about for real. So I'm just bringing you guys along for the hike. So all in all, this is going to be around a 4.5 mile hike. So it's going to be pretty interesting. So just for context, this is actually one of my favorite hikes, one of my favorite trails, because it's nice and I would say this is a medium range, difficulty trail. It has a lot of elevation changes, has a little bit of a difficult area, but when you've done it a couple times, it gets easier. There's definitely one section of this trail that I'm not looking forward to, but you will see exactly what that is when we get to it. Our biggest race right now is going to be against daylight, because we are burning daylight. Because here in Alabama, if for some reason, actually I ain't know for some reason, I know why, but daylight savings time gets really wonky. Gets dark really early here. On this trail, maintaining your footing is going to be imperative. There's going to be lots of sections of this trail that are pretty narrow. Just use the roots like stairs. Some of these roots and stumps will take you out. God. So I'm about to show y'all the part that I was talking about, the part that I'm really not looking forward to. So you can either do it on the front end or you can do it on the back end. I always stupidly choose to do it on the back end. So we're going to be going this way, Chimney Rock Loop, but I'm going to show you something. Okay, so we're going to start this way, and here's where we're going to end up, right back. But coming up, ooh, almost slid. But coming up this part with all these pine needles and leaves and whatnot, definitely sucks to go down. So we're going to come up this section. But like I said, I just wanted to just show you guys what the challenge really is and what we're really up against here. Pretty sure you can see how far down we're going. So we're going down there. But I'll show you guys that on the way back up. So let's get back to where we came from. All right, on to our regularly scheduled programming. Yeah, I done got into the part where it's starting to get difficult, relatively speaking. It's no longer following just a flat road. I don't know if you guys can see it, but Lake Martin is right over there, and we're going down there. The one thing I will say about hiking, it teaches you, I can't speak for anybody else, I can only speak for me, but it taught me that there is no way to get to the destination except to go through all the things you got to go through to get there. Because really, there is no shortcut to this thing. I mean, there is, but I wouldn't recommend them because they're, one, extremely risky, dangerous, and why are we trying to hurt ourselves, or worse, just to prove how fast we can do a hike? It's kind of asinine to me, but slow and steady, yo. It's going to suck. I say again, it is going to suck. But the only way to get through it is to go through it. It's going to suck, yes. But at the end of the suck, there should be a little bit of pride knowing that you finished the task. So, pausing from that for a second. So, Blake's over there. We're going all the way down and around to get to the other side. So again, that's the long way when you probably could have just cut right down the side here. But again, that'd be quicker, but you're adding risk. The whole thing here is to accomplish your goal and mitigate risk. Now, some risks you're going to have to take, but taking unnecessary risks, it's just, like I said, it's just asinine. Don't do that. Slow and steady, yo. But of course, that philosophy can be taken and applied to life. If there's a goal that you have, it's not going to be this quick fix thing where you have the idea on Monday, it gets completely fleshed out on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday you have a working idea. It kind of doesn't work that way. You got to go through all the things that you are meant to go through to get to all the places that you're meant to be. You cannot skip the hard stuff and go straight to the easy. You have to work for everything that you want. The type of lifestyle that you want, you got to work for it. The type of money you want to make, again, you got to work for it. You definitely got to work for it. But that's enough of me being on my soapbox and whatnot about that. I can put my stick away now. But I just wanted to just share that because, like I said, hiking will definitely do a lot of things for you. There's definitely a lot of benefits to it, well, from it. And this kind of goes back to a topic that I brought up in the last video about when was the last time you challenged yourself. Anytime I need a real challenge, I do this hike. Because this one right here is sure to humble me every time. Woo! When we get to the excuse me, when we get to the other side here, we'll stop and take a little break. Hydration, super important when you're coming out on the trails. Whew. Starting to get into the rocky portion of this ridge. But when we get down the ridge, that's going to lead to one of my favorite spots ever. But here's the service road. We're not going to take the easy way out. We're going through it. By the way, since we're here, I want to send a shout out to one of the sponsors of the channel, Bucked Up Energy. Before I hit the trails, I always make sure I mix me up a little bit of Bucked Up pre-workout, and that gives me the energy to bust through these trails. Check the descriptions below for a little something. Maybe a little discount code for you. Check them out. This is the part that's starting to suck. We got to go down here and then ascend that part of the ridge to get to the bottom. It's a lot of, you got to go up to go down. But that's cool, because we're not doing this expecting it to be easy. It's almost like walking through Jurassic Park in this little section. These leaves are huge. There's a lot of fern growth over here. Little fun fact for you. The state of Alabama has the largest, well, the most diverse selection of ferns that are naturally growing. I should say that are native to the state. And here's the suck. Gotta take a little bit of a breather. Alright. Can't sit here too long. Let's go. Straight switchbacks. It's definitely giving me a good long workout. And also, I'm really not used to talking to a camera. It's like, conversationally wise, I think I'm a pretty good conversationalist. I think I could hold a pretty good conversation in person, face to face. But this is different because I'm talking to a camera that's not going to talk back. So, do me a favor, if you're watching and you've gotten this far, feel free, drop a couple comments. Let me know that I'm not out here talking to myself feeling crazy. Alright, so now we're descending to get down to the lake. We're almost there. When we get down to the other side and get to the river's edge, we'll take a break and hydrate. Barring I can get down here without falling and busting my behind. See, I just tripped right there. But again, we ain't gonna talk about it. I gotta be careful there. Oh, would you look at that? It's pretty flowers. Honestly, didn't think that anything would still be in bloom right now. And here's the part you got to be careful. The path is really narrow. And it's being covered with all these fallen leaves. It would really suck to slip and bust behind right here. I like how they made way for the tree, because you know, the tree was here first. Alright, after this little section right here, the terrain will even out a little bit. But of course, we gotta hit this loop, and then we're gonna be traveling along the river's edge. I'm sorry, lake. I can take my glasses off now. But the fact that I can take my sunglasses off now lets me know that, again, I'm fighting against time. I just want to point out that in the springtime, the water comes up to where this drop off is. You can tell where the water then receded back. If I'm not mistaken, I do believe that they lowered the lake level. I think I remember hearing that the last time I had hiked in this area. There's another trail that I'm going to take you guys on that you can only access that trail when they lowered the lake levels. See, because usually this right here is pretty hard to pass. That's crazy, because again, This is all up underwater at one point. Oop. I'm good. Again, we ain't got to talk about it. If you laugh, I ain't gonna post again. This part has its degree of difficulty because gotta be really sure with your footing. Because again, in the summer, you trip, you're in the water. Again, gotta be very careful. Excuse me. For some reason, I hate this little section. Just this little section. Now, the rest of it is fine. I just hate that little section. Mainly because of the way that I gotta move my feet. Yeah. That reminds me of this clip on YouTube. This reporter in Augusta, a bug flew in his mouth. He's like, dying in this country town. Got stuff flying in my mouth. That's what that situation reminded me of. But we got a tree down right here. Again, another pine. Rather go under than try to go over. Again, you trip, you fall. But that right there is not even the worst section. We're getting to there. Again, a lot of going up to go down. Now this section that's coming up is protected because it's a bee habitat. So if you're ever hiking through an area that's protecting of the bees, please be mindful. Again, without those little guys, we don't have life as we know it. So if one flies at you, don't be a jerk. I promise. It is not trying to eat your face off. Last time I came through atop this tree, there was a bald eagle's nest. I see it done packed up shop and left. I will say the one thing I do hate about little shrub tunnels like this, and he always runs into a spider web. I'm not afraid of spiders. I just hate dealing with spider webs. But this is that protected area that I was telling you about for the bees. See? Bumblebee nest. You can slide across this way, but they don't want you to do that because you will disturb the bumblebees. So go up to go down. And again, the whole name of the game, is to mitigate our impact on wildlife while we're out here. Because again, we're just visitors. We're almost there, y'all. If you made it this far in the video, do me a favor. Drop a comment on what type of stuff would you like to see on this channel. Like, where would you like to see me hike? Also, would y'all be interested in doing group hikes? Which, of course, if you're in Alabama, that makes it a whole lot easier. But I'm down to travel. Ooh, mushroom. I'm a bit of a shroom head, so whoa, that didn't come out right. I love seeing mushrooms out in the wild. They're really cool. I find the whole species of mushroom is really cool. Fun fact, did you know that nature, trees, all the plants that you find out here all communicate via a network of mycelia? The mycelia is the section of the mushroom that we don't see. That's what's underground. It's a vast network that connects all the plants in the area. They can communicate and all that other good stuff. The part that you see above ground, that's the fruit of the mushroom. I guess you could say it's sexual reproduction system. So just a little fun fact for you. But of course, there are people that can explain that concept way better than I can. Again, I'm just a trumpet player that fixes instruments on the side. I just know a little bit about a lot. Huh. They're getting active over there. Crows. Interesting creatures they are. Did you know that in the United States, it is illegal to own crows? A little fun fact about crows. They have the intelligence of an average 7-year-old. That's pretty intelligent. The reason why it's illegal to own them is because you could train a crow to commit crimes. Fun fact. Alrighty. Again, in the summertime, all of these rocks are usually covered. And this is about as far as you can come up. Lake Martin, ladies and gentlemen.